Okay, hey again, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Uh, these audio slash videos are harder to make than I don't know. At least for me, I feel like I just need something to say before I get on here and start just blathering on like some people do. Anybody again with a YouTube channel and a laptop seem to be able to get on and just start talking. But as I've mentioned before, I want to have something to say before I get on here. I really do apologize for the folks uh, that have sent video suggestions to me. I really am not ignoring you. Things are weird right now. Things are just so odd. A lot of my favorite channels aren't uploading much content either. I just think we're all under something. I don't know, whatever's going on. I want to say something about it, but I really don't want to get my channel nixed just yet. So anyhow, I do have another project or a video audio slash recording coming up with Connor again sometime soon as we can touch base and we can get our schedules to coincide. And in the meantime, I've received some interesting emails, and one that's particularly interesting to me. And I want to be really careful on this topic. I'm going to sign on with a disclaimer about this. The people that watch this channel, and I'm not trying to make my channel out to be important because it really isn't. There's not that many subscribers. That's fine with me. It's more of a discussion anyhow. But the people that do subscribe to the channel are a wide range of people, and because narcissism doesn't seem to have, well, I was going to say that it doesn't seem to have any boundaries. There are different flavors of narcissism, let's put it that way. And today, one of my viewers, Robin, thank you, Robin, for suggesting this, has suggested that we talk about the covert female narcissist. And I've said before that it's not usually the guy at the gas station or the girl behind the counter at the grocery store. It's somebody that's close to you that inflicts the narcissistic damage on your life. So it's generally going to be, if it's not a parent, it's going to be someone of the opposite sex, the opposite gender. And for our purposes, there's only two. Anyhow, so if you've been negatively impacted by a narcissist, generally it's going to be, obviously, if you're a man, generally it's going to be a female or females that have done their number on you, and vice versa. If you're a woman, it's obviously going to be usually men who have done their damage. So on that note, that's generally the way it is, but there is a different flavor between the two. And I've made one or two videos on the topic, and I want you to know that I'm not picking on the women here, but we're in such a flux and such a strange and fluid time. Things are so changing so fast right now that it's hard to even put a pulse on anything, really. But for the most part, in the last probably half century, it was just taken for granted that women were supposed to be kinder and more caring and care about the family, etc. Just add your list of what they were supposed to be. And I actually do, sorry if you don't agree with me, don't really care, but I think that is something that's missing. We need more caring, kind mothers, and that's a part of our society that just seems to be just gone. We don't really need more lawyers, and I'm sorry, we just don't. We don't need more female CEOs. Don't care what you think about that. You can unsub right now. Don't care. Anyhow, that being said, the attitude was that the female was more trustworthy, I guess, or more caring or kinder. I don't know exactly how to put that, but whatever it is, this description that you want to use, it seems to make it easier for the female covert narcissist to hide. as if the mother figure can do no wrong. Hey, she's a mother. She would never do something like that. Or she's your wife. She would never do something like that. And so this makes the camouflage all that harder to see through for the female narcissist. Again, I'm not saying that all females are narcissists. This is not a MGTOW channel. I do understand where those guys are coming from. And so I'm not bashing down on the ladies. But I am going to I'm going to go through Robin's email here, and we're just going to talk about it for a minute. So I'm going to read some of this. I read through some of it. It's a pretty long email, and I'll make my comments as I go. So here we go. Okay, this is from Robin. Okay, I'm going to try to be detailed and brief, but this would be a similar topic. I'm not a pro opinion, just a lifetime of experience. So. And that's Robin. Robin says, I left a cult and got interested in narcissism. And Robin, I totally can see how cultish behavior and narcissism walk hand in hand. I see how you can be negatively impacted by both of those. So she continues, my mother and then two close friends in quotes, made damn near psychic when dating my last dude, hearing about his ex. Like he'd say something and I was like, I don't know if you are lying or repeating a lie, she said, but that's not true. And they seem to distinguish very little between willing and unwilling victims. The tactics themselves are all things that you have talked about. I think Robin is talking about what I've said on the channel. It all makes for a particular picture, and while this obviously needs some fleshing out, I've seen 4 women pretty much abandon their families, including children, and successfully, again, we've got quotes, work over dudes with various tactics. And yes, Robin, I do see that. I see this a lot, that the female narcissist, they will, for no good reason whatsoever. Now, if you're in a relationship, man or woman, female, male, and someone's abusing you in some way, you need to go. You need to get out. There's no sense in sticking around. Yes, not even for the children at that point. But I've seen plenty of families where the husband and the kids and everyone were doing not just what they were supposed to do, but beyond expectations, just to have the female narcissist tear it completely apart and just fuck their lives totally upside down. So I have seen that, yeah. So she's seen, to continue back, I've seen 4 women pretty much abandon their families, including their children, and successfully work over dudes with various tactics. She continues, I've had 5 women in my life who were formative in convincing me I needed to work on my relationship style because, anyway. I'm so business smart, being one farce I've seen in them, then basically pretend to be useless or act like what they wanted to do was no better than what said business person was doing already. Dude I was dating said she was so smart that she has a master's degree, and I knew in my spirit it was a lie as soon as he said it. I called the university and found the best case scenario she might have applied to attend. He was with her 13 years and had no idea who she was until she left. And on a level, I think that applies to sometimes picking someone stupid enough to enable you. Robin, I couldn't agree with you more. A lot of these people, I don't think it's stupidity, I think it's naivety. I think that people want to believe the best in people. We've been taught to believe the best in people, and we don't want to think that somebody would do these things. So on one hand, you do have what we could term the flying monkeys, and then you have people who are just unwilling enablers. They don't even know. As a matter of fact, this is an excellent time to interject what Connor and I spoke about in one of the last videos, and you can see who's the willing and unwilling participants, but they're both participants. So if y'all want to check out that diagram that Connor put together, it's very well thought out, and it applies perfectly to what you just said. So anyway, continuing on. I speak of a dude and his ex because it's recent, but it's been the cohort her best friend told all the secrets in the past, so it was easy for me to see through the BS. These women's groups and coven meetings, I guess you really were in a cult. That's very unfortunate. There's not a lot of healthy behavior that comes out of those. Coven meetings as reasons to cheat with some new sucker in their stable, and the pretending to have secret knowledge to manipulate and aggrandize themselves and belittle others. And they probably do have some knowledge. They since they are data miners, Robin, they're constantly picking up information to use it against others. So that would make very well sense as well. Continuing with Robin's email. I plan on talking about all these people individually on one channel just to get it off my chest and hopefully help people. And Robin, I encourage you to do that. Please do. I would tune in to see what you have to say about it. It sounds like you have been through this as well. So, because it's the small channels that have been the most value to me. And I agree. My favorite channels don't have a lot of they don't have a lot of subscribers. Not that the subscriber count is valuable or anything. It's just that I don't see them. Some people get, again, they get a YouTube channel, they get a microphone, or they get a laptop, and all of a sudden they have intros and outros, and they think they're a news station, and they just get to the point already. So, and I think that some of the smaller ones are my favorite as well. So I get that. So, okay. Anyway, continuing. Because it's the small channels that have been the most value to me, it feels personal, though it isn't. But still. Anyway, I've seen how they live to degrade and insult those they have hurt and literally revel in it. I've seen how they disappear one day and fall completely out of the blue. Twice, I was brought in to help move and had no idea they were ghosting. We'd had the plan for some time. This is nasty. This is nasty behavior. So someone asked you to help them move out on their husband or boyfriend, and they were going to ghost him. And I'm certain after much abuse, of course, that's what they do, leaving a bunch of open-ended wounds for somebody, and they had you help, and you didn't know. And of course, that's not your fault. So anyway, and I was lied to along the way as well. But empath, seeing good in people, wanting to accept people's flaws and all because it's what we need to. Maybe Tales of an Empath is also a video idea. Robin, I'm not so sure that the empath idea is, I've never really quite understood that. I know people claim to be empaths, and it seems to me like they almost claim to be empaths to get attention sometimes. I'm not exactly sure how to approach that topic, so I've pretty much skipped it through the entire, even at the conception of the channel. I haven't really talked a lot about that. If there's something that somebody has to say about that, I'm always willing to listen now. Anyway, but I just don't see much that is directed at the trifling ladies and lots at the scary abusive men, when for me the women have been more destructive than the men, kinda. And yeah, like I said, there's a different flavor. It's I'm no expert. I've said that before, but I'm going to venture to say that when it comes to personal relationships, not like business relationships and CEOs who are really more psychopathic, who really are antisocial, who just have a goal in mind, I'm sorry, but the female does seem to have more narcissistic tendency than the psychopathic tendency, and they seem to plan out much more of their abuse and enjoy it. They seem to really, in my personal experience, the most devastating narcissists were all female, every single one. There's no male that has come close to destroying or damaging my life like people that were at one time close to me, that I foolishly let close to me. Even when I knew just something wasn't right, I let people, close, because we want to believe the best. And then, of course, they worked me over, as you said earlier, in just very destructive ways. What's funny, though, is that they're really stupid. They're some of the dumbest people around. They really are uncreative and not very good at what they do, because once you figure out what a narcissist does, they're super easy to manipulate back, and they're just not creative. So once you figure it out, it's easy to sidestep it. It's not always easy to sidestep and get rid of the chaos that they've caused, and that's not easy, but sometimes that has a lasting effect. But it gets easier and easier and easier with no contact or limited contact, and as we find out. But yeah, you're right. I think that in the personal relationships, I think women narcissists can be much nastier than the men, and I think they plan it out way better, and they exact revenge for real or imagined issues, things that you probably didn't do, really just for jealousy, gaslighting, manipulation, lying. They love to, at least in my case, there was a couple that just really enjoyed bashing me to people that, and I'm telling you, I know this is a YouTube channel, and you don't know me really from anybody, but I'm telling you, they didn't have a reason except that they were just fucking narcissists, just really shitty people inside, just very average looks outside, not really much talent outside, and inside just really ugly, destructive people. And it's always good to get away from them. So yeah, gals, I'm not picking on you. This was a video idea from Robin. Women and men just seem to have a different, and there's ages in different parts of the world. It just seems like there's a different flavor to narcissism. There's always the underlying, 5 or 10 traits that they all have. But anyhow, so anyway, I'm glad that you brought that up. I'm sorry it took so long to get to it. Like I said, it's just been a weird time for all of us, and nobody seems to be uploading much of anything right now. And what does get uploaded, if it's too off the mark, it gets just 86'd by YouTube, and people's channels are getting disappeared, and so we can't really even talk about what we want to talk about. So anyhow, I hope that helps someone today, and it's good to talk to y'all again. Like I said, I'm going to try to get around to having the conversation with Connor again, and see if we can't shed some more light on the ideas of narcissism. So anyhow, thanks for joining me, and I hope to see y'all again real soon. Thank you.